Welcome back. We're here to do the Divine Feminine update. I was just sitting here looking at the cards and thinking, gee, this is an interesting read. And then I thought, okay, let's take a look at the transits and what could be causing some of these conundrums that Divine Feminine is experiencing that I'm physically observing through the cards, which they are directly correlating, which is sometimes it's a good thing because it means we can directly look at the circumstance and say, okay, it's quite normal to be feeling a little bit disillusioned, uninspired, and really looking, taking a real critical eye on our lives and looking direct. Number one is we do have Venus retrograde still. Number two is we do have the shadow energy at this point in time. Gearing up, ready to go Mercury retrograde. Uranus and Taurus this month also is going to be going retrograde. We'll already have that really coming through in our nervous system. And the sun also is in Leo. And on the 16th, we have a new moon in Leo. So a lot to do with Venus, a lot to do with our inner child. So we can have a lot of what would the word be? It could be self-esteem. It may be the ego. It could be heart chakra, feelings of disillusionment, and already looking to the crowning energy. We have, it's number 30. Law is not justice. Rules that are not fair. And looks, for some of you, it can be that something is going in your favor and you're being realistic. We don't always get what we want, but what I am physically seeing from this is, so I do feel something spiritually is going to go in your favor, but you're trying to look outside the box at this point in time. And you could be looking very logically at situations, very black and white. The other thing I can say is Mars can really relate to how the masculine is showing up month by month in astrology. It also is our vitality. It's how we deal with things. And being in the house of Virgo, it can be very indecisive, okay? So it can be where we're physically, seeking perfection, looking for the detail, wanting detail. And, the way to relate to divine masculine at this point with these current transits, especially for those of you that are in communication, would be very point blank. So it could be very to the point, drawing a map, being direct, not walking on eggshells. I think that would be the best bet. They also can have self-esteem and confidence issues coming up surrounding their health at this point in time. I am seeing divine feminine here really looking back to the connection. The power of attraction. It is a 4, and again, it is to do with the co-creation. You could be having opinions and feelings to do with very traditional style connections. Those that have family, it could be divine masculine with family members. But ultimately, I do see this here, you looking back to when you were in your vortex, when you directly were attracting, your twin and like the laws of attraction, but also the other things in your life that you directly wanted. Some of you also can be having this sixth sense that due to the transits, we do have the blast from the past coming back, and these can come in a myriad of ways. Already today, I have, in Venus retrograde, had a text message from an individual that I did see years ago who is a kindred soul and, a spiritual friend, has moved on. But again, just out of the blue, good old Venus retrograde. The message came in, hello, my dear friend, how are you? And again, it's more that we are going to connect with many people. This can be with friends, it can be with family members. In the context of your twin flame path, some of you could have opportunities from the past coming back. Some of you directly are looking at previous connections. Maybe that didn't go so well. Maybe that you had wanted to go a bit better, but I do feel something from the past is coming back. And for some reason, I really feel this reading is oozing a huge possibility of things turning in your way. However, there are some surrounding cards that are a little bit worrying. We do need to, at the heart of this, it's almost like there's a head and heart decision. And it's funny that this card here, bold new vision, it's a number 15, which again is to do with 6. The sixth house can be the house of our undoing, but it also can be our habits, our behaviors, how we relate to the circumstance. I'm noticing the B on the crown chakra, the third eye activation, and the throat chakra. The thing is, being that it's in the heart of the reading, it's funny how we say head and heart decision, that the heart is its purest form, which usually is where we directly manifest from. There is a possibility of manifesting through our ego, um, which can have stunted growth. It generally has this ideal in mind, and it's the only outcome you really desire. But be open-minded, be open to the way it comes towards you. I do feel some of you can be really coming up to this Leo moon, and if you can move into the heart center, I do feel you'll manifest quite positively. It's interesting that we do have receive in reverse. So if there is negativity coming in, I do feel you're looking at possibilities in your life. I do feel that, you're not expecting something, but I do directly feel there's a possibility for some of you. If you are in detachment and you are open and you're coming from your purest heart point, you can be ultimately surprised. I do directly see from the bottom row here that there is a possibility something may be kicked off around June, July for you. Something can come in very, very quickly, but it is going to be a surprise. The other thing I'm noticing at a foundational level, I do feel psychologically you're going to have some breakthroughs. Something is going to go in your favor, but you can find it quite amusing. I do feel some of you are going to get gossip through the grapevine. This can be in relationship to a karmic or a karmic situation. I also feel that you may be able to read between the lines of a text message. And I don't know why I'm getting this. It could be some of you are maybe having a bath, it's the evening, and a text message comes through. But just observing this individual's face on the card, they do appear to be quite amused. And I feel your sixth sense is going to guide you correctly. I feel you're going to be able to read in between the lines. And this can be very much a metaphor. So don't take it smack bang to the point. My guides have really been quite direct with this, is that with some information that's going to come towards you, I do feel with your shift of perspective, you're going to raise to a high vibration. And I feel if you can trust your instincts and have self-esteem inside you, I do feel something can really change overnight here. There is a shift within divine feminine that I am physically seeing here. I do feel some of you can be directly on the fence a little bit, really second guessing yourself and having some element of resentment. If you can move beyond that and you can move into detachment, with which this reading is really suggesting, I do feel something very quickly is going to manifest and turn in your favor. And I'm noticing the owl, I'm hearing the term overnight. It does feel to be quite drastic and quite quickly. Be the hunter, not the hunted. And it's interesting that it says be the hunter, not the hunted. When you shift your vibration and you know what you're worth and you raise your vibration, like the laws of attraction, it is like being the hunter, because you are actually ushering it in through your shared belief. Now, can it be without actions and words? 100%. Can it be preparing? And I do feel for some reason there's some things that divine feminine are addressing, where you're almost dealing with the elephant in the room, not avoiding things, not shifting and shoving them under the carpet, because I feel that's going to be quite key to you as well. We're going to go into clarifying. Okay, let's get some more context back here with your crowning energy, because I really want to ask a question. Okay, is this a positive or a negative situation, please, for the divine feminine this week? Okay, so again, they're making reference to July. Something really went down last month, and I feel for a lot of you had some revelations of, really ready to turn things in a totally different direction, ready to make some bold decisions. Something, yeah, it's almost like that confidence, that self-esteem, that desire. Love has taken center stage, and I feel because of that, you really, it's almost put the pressure in that area. It's not, pressure doesn't have to be a bad thing. I'm seeing it more as a flashlight. It's brought a flashlight onto the situation, and any stagnation, I do feel you directly inside your life are shifting. You can have a new perspective towards your twin flame path and your destiny moving forward. Hmm. Okay, what you directly maybe were a bit blocked on um, was, is divine masculine doing the work? Can they? And are they manifesting things in? I think what you're manifesting in here is divine masculine pursuing you. And I feel this individual has been thinking about you quite a bit. I do feel at times there has been a work-related dynamic that has been an issue. This doesn't have to be that their job is terrible, but there's something going on surrounding that circumstance that has been a bit of a bugbear. Some of you are wanting to change. Yeah, you're really wanting to be seen in a new light. I do see some of you are having drastic changes where it does come to your image. This can be trying new clothing, going into health kicks, but I also feel it's something of a more internal level. I also feel divine feminine isn't putting up with rubbish. Like, she's sort of getting to a point where she's saying, look, I know what I'm worth. No crumbs. And it's not to say you can't, yeah, just no crumbs. That's what they're saying. Hmm. Yeah, it's almost like the offers that you've had so far have really not even tickled your fancy. It's like, to you, that sort of show is over. You're needing something a lot greater than what has been given at this point in time, and also feel it is around all connections, not just divine masculine. Some of you also are moving beyond feeling that the karmic is getting more, especially for those more so that do and are aware of a karmic situation. Some of you may be surprised to hear that the karmic has been blocked. Some of you could be blocking the karmic. Some of you could be receiving a text message from the karmic. This also can come through in a dream state. What used to trigger you before is no longer triggering you. You've taken your power back. I feel you're having a light bulb moment. Yeah, you're living in the present. You're living in the here and now. This is a huge shift, divine feminine. Again, I do feel this is going to be quite unexpected. Some of you could have less communication through the 5D. Some of you, that really does worry. Well, we have the reunion card. There's going to be no, this is the person physically showing up. This is physical movement. I do see divine feminine looking at this circumstance going, yeah, right. You really are not expecting it. For some of you, this can also come through in a sense that you're gauging it and so I'm hearing the term, yeah, pigs can fly. But something's going to change that. I really do feel some of you are getting some information through the grapevine. I do sense masculine very close. I do sense a jealous karmic. Unbeknownst to you, especially for those of you that are being stalked by the karmic and you don't know what's going on with masculine, it's a very positive sign. Unfinished business, I do feel with divine masculine. Yeah, they're redirecting me back to the karmic situation. If you do have any dramas coming up with a karmic or somebody stalk texting you, I do feel there's trouble in the connection with karmic, and I feel it's a very positive thing. Look, the masculine and the karmic might, for some of you, already well and truly be broken up. During these retrogrades, there's a higher likelihood of karmics coming out of the woodworks. I do feel this week in the mix, you could have a grand surprise, and that really might knock your socks off. These are quite big energies. Look for this energy between 1 to 2 weeks. Take care, and I'll see you next week for the update. Feel free to tell us how your week pans out. Take care.